Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. This is another LearnDash Live. Thank you guys so much for joining. I am just trying to make sure that I am showing up on YouTube. This is another LearnDash. Okay, so don't want that feedback. Alrighty, awesome. So yes, this is another LearnDash Live. My co-host Jack, he'll be joining a little bit later today. But today we are going to cover the new coupon feature that's built directly into LearnDash. So you no longer need WooCommerce if you don't want to use it. So I think this is a pretty exciting update. But before we get started, let's go ahead and start with a few icebreakers. I'd like to know where is everyone joining from. So I'm going to put that up on the screen and feel free to share where you're joining from in the chat. Looks like right before we started, we have someone in Clarksville, Georgia. That's kind of close to me. I'm in Atlanta. We have someone from Edinburgh, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, or Scotland. All right. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next question. All right, so if you have a course or if you're working on it, just let us know what it's about. And if you have a link to your course, go ahead and share it in the chat. All right, I guess no one has a course they want to share with us. That's perfectly fine. The good news is today I'm going to actually use my course website as like the demo for today. So you guys get to see my course that's halfway complete, still working on it. Okay, so Diane says, getting ready to launch an academy with a bunch of courses. That is amazing. Are you making the courses yourself, or are you having other people submit their own courses, which I think is the easiest route to go? So just let me know. All right, and then our last icebreaker is what's your favorite LearnDash feature? If you are already using LearnDash, let us know what feature you like the most. All right, looks like we have a tough crowd today. I don't see that much, many people engaging in the chat, but that's fine. So before we get started, I am going to just do a little bit of housekeeping. So if you have not, or if you don't already have a copy of LearnDash, then you can try out our new demo experience, and I am going to put that link here. So I'm also going to add that to the chat as well, so you guys have it. So if you do not have LearnDash, you can check out our demo and you can just see how LearnDash works before you even purchase it. And we have some demo courses and content already loaded into the demo site, so that way you can kind of get started and see where everything is without having to do everything from scratch. All right, so I am going to stop talking at this point about the icebreakers and housekeeping and get into the screen share and show you all how to use the new coupon feature. So let me share my screen. All right, so I am sharing my screen. I know it's a little bit of a delay on YouTube, but if you can see my screen, which is the WordPress dashboard, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Just want to make sure that's working for everyone before we get started. All right, just waiting to get some ones in the chat before we get started. Right, I'm starting to see some ones. You guys can see my WordPress dashboard for my website, weekendwebsitecourse.com, which is a mouthful to say. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into the new coupon feature on this website. So you want to make sure you have the latest LearnDash update, so that way you can see the new coupon feature that's here. So once you go over to LearnDash LMS, you will go to coupons, which is a new menu item since we've done our most recent update. And I've already created one coupon here, but just to show you all how everything works, I'm going to go ahead and create a new coupon. So I'm going to go to add new at the top. All right, so this is just your coupon's name. It's not the actual coupon code. So you can call this coupon whatever you like. I'm going to call this LD Live because I am making it during a LearnDash Live. And if I go back to it later on, I'll know, okay, what is this coupon for? It was for the demo. All right, so now we can give it a coupon code. So by default, you already kind of have a generated code that's already in here. It's pretty tough to give out a code like this. So you can customize that and make it anything you want. So I'm just going to make my coupon code LearnDash. And then you have the option to what type of coupon you want this to be. So it can be a flat rate. So if you want to say, hey, give this person $20 off, $50 off, that's an option. Or you can go the percentage route. You can do 10%, 20%, 100%. And in this case, I'm going to do 100%. So that way my course will be free. And then you can set the number of redemption. So how many times do you want this coupon to be used? So you can do 0, which makes it unlimited. So people can use this coupon until infinity or until you get rid of it. Or you can set just a couple of times or how many times you want that to be. So maybe like 10 times at this point. And then also I think it's a great feature is that you can start or you can set a start date and an end date for the coupon. So if you only want to do it during a promotional period and you're planning, this is a great way to go ahead and just put the dates in that you want this coupon to start and end on. All right, and then you have the option to apply to all your courses. If not, you would just click on the toggle and then you could just put in or type in whichever courses you want to apply that to. I'm going to use apply to all courses for this demo. And then if you have any groups, you can also do the same thing. If you want to click on the untoggle, then you can actually choose whatever groups that you may have that you want to use this coupon. All right, so now that everything is updated, I'm going to go ahead and publish. And before I go any further, I just want to make sure, does anyone have any questions so far? Was I going too fast? Just let me know before I move on to the next step. All right, and it looks like Jack is here, so I'm going to add him to the stream. Hi, Jack. I hope you weren't waiting too long for me to add you.
No, not at all. Not at all. Sorry, I'm like 8 minutes late. I got there in the end.
Okay, no problem. All right, so I was waiting to see if anyone had any questions about the coupon. So it looks like no questions so far. So we just created our coupon. The code is LearnDash, and so this next part, I'm going to go to one of my courses that has a that's a paid course, and just demonstrate that this coupon is working correctly. So actually, there is a question. Is the limit for the number of uses or uses per customer? I believe it's the number of uses. Do we have it at this point where they can say it's per user or?
Not yet, but it will be coming. But right now, it's just like 100 uses across like every customer. Not 100, like 100 uses in total, as opposed to 100 uses for customer A or B.
Okay, that makes sense. So that will be coming in the future. All right, and then we have a comment. So now I can give members of another course a free coupon to take one of my other courses for free for being loyal. Exactly. That's a great way to use this new feature. All right, so I'm going to go to my courses. Just to make sure everything is working, I'm going to go into one of my existing courses. And the funny thing is that this is actually not a course. I'm actually using LearnDash to use as a documentation type of site. So this is actually a free course, but just for this demo, I'm making it a paid course. So I'm going to go over to settings just to make sure that we have the access mode as buy now. And then we want to set our price to whatever that is. So I just put $49 in there. And I'm going to click on update. Right, so now I can view my course on the front end, but I'm gonna have to log out so that way you can get the full experience because while I'm logged in, I can of course see the site. So let me log out. You know what, I needed that URL because I don't know how to get back to it. Let me see if I can go back to it. Okay. All right, so I am on my course's front end. So I'm going to go ahead and click on take this course. So I'm not logged in. I will be doing this as a brand new user to the site. So take this course. All right, so it shows the price of my course, and I'm going to make up a username for this. So I'm just going to do Carmen 3. I don't think I've used that one yet. And I'm going to use an email address. All right, and the nice thing about this, so it does not allow you to use a weak password. So that's a good point there. So if you're using like a password tool like 1Password or LastPass, that can be helpful too. Okay, so I think I am good to go. So I'm going to click on register. And I didn't point this out earlier, but you do need to have your registration and success pages set in the LearnDash settings in order for this to work correctly. So as you can see, my registration was successful. And now the second part is I need to pay for this course, or I'm going to use my coupon that I just made. So I'm going to type in LearnDash and apply the coupon. So coupon has been applied and now it is $0. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on take this course. All right, and as you can see, I now have access to the course and it is ready to go. So if anyone has any questions about anything, go ahead and start putting those questions in the chat. Jack, did you have anything you want to add to this?
Don't, you're doing perfect.
Okay,
And sorry, I've got weird audio issues, so there's like weird echoes and stuff going on.
no problem. All right, that is my pop-up coming up. Let me exit out of that, which that shouldn't come up inside of a course. That is actually very bad. All right, I don't see any questions so far. Let me see if I had any from the signups that from before. Craig asks, is Jack in the UK? I guess he hears your accent.
Yeah, it's very. You can't mistake it for American, can you?
All right, so we have a question. It seems like people register for the course before they pay. That seems a little confusing. Um, is that the correct way? Because I was trying to figure this out on my own. So is that the way it's supposed to go, or?
Yeah, so right now, if you think about it, like you say you check out in WooCommerce, you kind of register all in the same page in essence. It's kind of more of like a one page type checkout. I mean, it can be multi step if you want, but it's more one page. We register the user before they check out for the course so that we have someone to attribute the access to, which primarily comes from gateways and how slow they can be to return the success status of the payment or not. Like, so PayPal, it relies on the PayPal instant payment notification, which can be a minute or it can be hours. And if we didn't register the user before, we wouldn't actually create a user until we get that success back. So then you potentially have a user sitting there without access to a course for hours on end. So we give them effectively a grace period unless the payment we know definitely fails. So for instance, if they enter the wrong credit card information in, then it just fails. It never even gets sent to try and process. But if they enter correct information and get sent to process, then they get a grace period of 24 hours, which just gives them some time for the payment notification to return, which then allows them to access the course. Because otherwise, it's also difficult. They have to go to their emails and reset their password. So by doing it this way, we allow them to set their password, their username up front, so the user experience is more straightforward.
Right. And they can always come back to the payment piece of the course because it would be kind of bad if you paid for the course and then you couldn't find your way back to the site, you know, your username or password. So that is an understandable flow, but just because of that. So
Mhm.
someone just made a comment, registering first helps collect the information if they end the purchase, allowing you to email them and remind them, which is great advice. Love that. Awesome. Let me just remove this banner. All right, so we had one other question that was a little bit more complex. Let me just add this one to the chat and then I'll bring it on the screen. All right. So, is there a plan to enable tokenization? For example, building up a certain number of tokens or points can make you eligible for an X% discount.
There's the opportunity. There's no specific plans right now, but technically, with LearnDash achievements and with the current point system that exists inside LearnDash, so course points, quiz points, you could, in theory, say if someone had X amount of course points, then give them a discount coupon, or automatically apply a coupon if they're logged in. There's no immediate plans for that, but it is a possibility, and it would be possible to custom develop that if you didn't want to wait.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So Craig also commented this is a pretty self-explanatory added feature. It really is. The only part that kind of threw me off was like the registration and success pages. I'm just trying to get all of that to work. So I think sometimes that can be a little bit complicated. So I just wanted to make sure I reminded everyone to make sure you go onto the LearnDash settings and go ahead and set up registration in the success page because that will kind of throw things off if you don't have it with the coupon code or just taking a payment for your course, period. All right, so I don't see any other questions. So we have a little bit more time, well, a lot more time actually. So if you have just any LearnDash related questions, kind of pre-sales questions, or just having questions in general, feel free to put that in the chat and we would be happy to answer any of those questions. And I think my Wi-Fi signal is not that great, so I'm sorry if I am breaking up.
The famous Google Fiber again strikes.
I understand. They're trying to make me upgrade to their like $100 something plan.
They're sabotaging your connection on purpose then.
Right. That's a lawsuit, I believe. All right. So Lottie asks, what once registered, what is their status? Customer registered. So what is their status in WordPress once they register for a course?
So you're most really thinking of WooCommerce, where it has like customer and some other different statuses slash WordPress user roles. LearnDash doesn't set any specific WordPress user role, so by default they are subscriber. So they've got the subscriber WordPress role, whether they are registered a customer, whether they paid for courses or anything like that. We don't differentiate between paid, non-paid, customer, non-customer. They just have that one user role.
Yeah, that just made me think of another point. So if you did want to add that distinction, like maybe put learner or student, there is, I know it's a plugin out there where you can add different user types to your site. And then in the WordPress settings, you can change whatever you want a new user, what you want them to be, I guess, labeled under.
Yep.
All right. So Craig has another recommendation here. He says, I think anyone looking to build a course should consider WP Astra. I would love to know why. We actually do the Astra demo templates, right? Or is that?
Yeah, we got Astra demo templates. They're downloadable from also your LearnDash account. They should be downloadable. Although obviously, as we're now Stellar, I sway towards Cadence. Though in all fairness, I always sway towards Cadence. Just when we joined Stellar WP, I swayed a lot more towards Cadence.
Oh, yeah. So just for anyone noticing, my site is built exactly pretty much a Cadence template. I took the whole template. I didn't even change the colors. And this is Cadence. Like it's so easy. You can use the Cadence blocks or you can use Elementor with it. And it integrates really well with LearnDash. So just want to put that out there. I really didn't change too much to that, to the Cadence theme itself in this template. All right, so let's see. Next one we have currently they register and become registered a purchase through Woo Ads, and as a customer, I use this to limit access. So I guess Lottie was just like adding on to her previous question. All right, so we have a question from Perry. Does LearnDash let you send an email to all the students? Also, does it let you tag students so you can use a system like Aweber?
Yes and no. So there are emails in LearnDash that you can send to like a new course purchase email and them type of things. If they're a group, you can send messages to everyone within that group. There's no specific email system in LearnDash itself as such outside of them realms. And really sending bulk emails via WordPress is a pretty quick way to get blacklisted most of the time. So most people use PHP Mail with WordPress using the standard WP Mail, and they don't have any specific setups like Mailgun or SendGrid or Amazon SES. And when you send bulk mail via your hosting, it's kind of a noisy neighbor situation. You're impacting everyone else on that hosting, and all the other people impacting you as well. So we don't really have anything kind of send bulk messages like to every single user on the site. There are plugins you can use to do that. For instance, you could use MailPoet, which integrates directly into WordPress, and you can hook it up to any third-party sending platform you want. You can set it up to Mailgun, Amazon SES, SendGrid, and then you can send emails to everyone that's on your WordPress website. To do that, though, you should make sure that the WordPress website is clean. And when I say clean, it means you've not got a ton of spam users, because you will still get banned by the third-party sending service within literally minutes of sending out a bulk email if it's a load of spam. There's also newsletter glue that you can use that I love. Its interface is primarily in Gutenberg, and it's a really great way to build newsletters in WordPress to send bulk mail, which you can use to send to your students. Tagging, you can use a system like WP Fusion. WP Fusion will allow you to tag the users and then connect it to something like a Weber. You can also use alternatives would be Fluent CRM, Groundhog. So you can use any of them different CRM WordPress plugins to actually hook it up to external systems.
Okay, so yeah, so the CRM plugins and also WP Fusion, those are really great. And I love the CRMs because you can also track the different things your course or your learners are doing throughout the course. So if they stop in the middle of a course, you can actually send emails based on like your progress. So that's a really nice thing to add. All right, so we have another question. Would you walk through setting up a profile page? So I'm guessing would this be like a learner's profile page? And I guess that would maybe depend on the theme itself. Jack,
Yeah, so LearnDash has the profile block and the LearnDash profile shortcode. And you literally just add the block to a page. There's not really tons of customization options. There are some customization options for the block. There are different parameters for the shortcode, but it's reasonably straightforward. And we are looking at making now a more account type page that you may be more familiar with, like with WooCommerce, kind of like a stacked view, like Carmen's looking at right now, like a kind of a student dashboard more than just a straight basic profile kind of thing. So that will change in the future. We are looking at implementing some stuff around new account pages to go in with all the new checkout stuff.
Yeah, so this site has a lot going on. So it does have WooCommerce. And now my next point is trying to figure out how can I possibly put just like, the LearnDash, like the make a page and then add it to this menu. So that way it just makes it easier and it's not like two different my account areas. So is there any easy fixes for that by chance?
Yeah, it gets a bit messy when you're using WooCommerce as well, because then you kind of got the WooCommerce page. You can add the LearnDash page as well, like the profile page, but they're kind of there. So there's some code snippets you can use to actually add a tab to the WooCommerce page that you can then output the LearnDash profile shortcode in that tabbed area. And that's the cleanest way to do it. That does involve a little bit of custom development.
Okay. I'm trying to log.
Carmen, you're super secure. Look at you, two-factor authentication, everything set up.
Yes, I got a little bit more serious after I got hacked. So
Right.
let me stop playing around. But I actually like it. I got the authenticated app that I'm pulling up now, trying to log back in. So and it was very easy to set this up. So if anyone wants to put like two-factor authentication on their WordPress site with LearnDash, what is it, WP2FA? Very simple and easy to set up. All right, so let's see. All right, so we have a good question here. Do you recommend having LearnDash on a subdomain or main domain, which contains blog, article, videos? I'm new to web design and not sure if this is the best way to do it. This is like a question that like comes up very often. What do you think?
I think it kind of depends on the goal of the website, right? Like you may have a website and then you have a training section and you kind of want to keep it completely separate. But if you're trying to get traffic to your site, you're like an influencer and you've got a course and you have like a blog and you're trying to get that organic traffic straight to the courses on that site, then it mostly makes sense to keep it all together. For me personally, I like it on a subdomain so it's cleaner. So you got like example.com and then you have like LearnDash on like training.example.com or courses.example.com. And then you don't have kind of all the overhead of everything in one place, and you also have the possibility at a later stage, if the course section is popular or the main website's popular, you can actually host them in completely different locations. So you may have one hosting set up like for one instance because it's a separate install of WordPress, and then another for the other instance, which just gives you a bit more flexibility as the site grows, that you're not stuck in kind of hosting and having everything in one place.
Yeah, that can be a pain. On my personal site, I did like a lot of different stuff. I had like an affiliate program, I had WooCommerce, I had courses, a membership program, and I'm just like, wait, this is way too much. Let me move some of this like to another domain or like a subdomain just to make it easier. So I was just want to try that profile block really quickly. What's the name of it? Is it? Oh, there it is. LearnDash profile. There we go.
Ta-da! Simple as that.
All right, so I'm going to click on publish. All right, awesome. And Cadence does like a lot of this in the theme already, so this makes the page look a little bit better. This goes edge to edge. I will probably fix that. I think there's a setting somewhere in the block to fix it though. So that is how you add that profile page. Awesome. All right, so I'm not really seeing any more questions in the chat, so I'll go ahead and get ready to end.
Lottie had just one extra question. She
Oh,
said that her site 3 accounts, Woo, LearnDash, and a forum. I don't know what forum you're using. I'm going to kind of assume you're using bbPress just for ease of explaining this, but essentially none of them systems have their own user system. They all use WordPress itself. They all use WordPress user roles. If you sell through LearnDash, we don't add any additional user roles. So any registered customer, whether they've paid for a course or not paid for a course, like I said, is a subscriber. If you sell through WooCommerce, anyone that pays is a customer. So if you use our WooCommerce integration and you're using WooCommerce to sell, then the course participant would be a customer in the platform. And they may have additional roles from each plugin. So like they may have like a group leader role from LearnDash. They may have a specific forum role like bbPress participant or viewer. I can't remember the exact roles in bbPress, but it will generally be they have a single user account, but then they have different roles depending on what they're using on the website.
yeah, so yeah, that is a lot to try to get everything to work nicely together. I think I made a site with like the Buddy Boss theme, but I'm not sure if we use WooCommerce or not. But we did use MemberPress and we used LearnDash. And so it looked pretty decent when it all worked together with the Buddy Press thing because it also had the form feature as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So thank you all so much for attending this webinar. So you will get a follow-up email from us with a replay. So if you missed it or had to leave a little bit early, this replay will be up on YouTube for you to watch. So again, thank you all for joining us. Next week, I believe we have like a Q&A session. So if you have not registered for it, please go over to learndash.com/webinars and sign up for the Q&A session and bring all of your great questions so we can answer them next time. So thank you again for joining us and see you next week.
Thanks all.
Bye.